Good morning. Sorry for the short delay. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties. Thank you for joining us for this morning's video conference. We have a short agenda for you, but we do have some very good things on there. So hopefully you'll find everything very interesting and helpful. This morning we do have Christy Arneson. She's going to be going over some updates with us. And then we will have Bree Ritter going to talk about the DFS help ticket system. Andy has some updates on and answers for some of the questions she's received on the big rule update that went out earlier. And then we're going to talk about verifications. But before we get started on all of that, I do want to give you just a few reminders. First, this is recorded. So for you supervisors, if you have anyone who is not here today, is not able to watch this live, you can have them go back and watch it. Workers, if anything comes up and you are interrupted or have to go take care of anything, you can pause this recording and then pick right back up where you left off so that you're not missing any of this important information. And then just a few other reminders that have come up lately. We have been seeing a few issues with the application date in Epics not matching the date stamp on the application. So I just want to send out a reminder to everyone in the field. Please make sure that the application date that is entered into Epics is matching the date stamp on the application, and that is the date that it was submitted to the DFS office. I do realize that a lot of our offices, that is something that clerical takes care of as those applications are being received and scheduled for appointments. But as benefit specialists, it is ultimately our responsibility to make sure we are double checking that once that application is in our box and in our hands. So please do double check those date stamps and make sure that all of that is lining up and matching up. Also, all pieces of verification that are submitted to us do also need to be date stamped with the date that they're brought in, so double check those as well. We do have the Wombat security training, so make sure you're keeping up on those. You do receive an email to let you know when you have a new lesson available to you and when that lesson is due. So make sure that you are keeping up on that, and we do appreciate that as well. That's pretty much it. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started, and I will hand it over to Christy Arneson.
Thank you, Val. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for just a few minutes of your agenda this morning. I just wanted to take the time and reiterate what my email said to you all last week, which is, a congratulations and a thank you for the excellent work. And if you hadn't seen the email, the error rate was released for 2017, and the national error rate was 6.5%, and Wyoming's error rate was 3.35%. So that's excellent. What that means for Wyoming is that we get a bonus of $196,000. So that's very exciting and huge. Another part of that is we received some kudos from FNS specific to the QC unit, as they had 100% completion rate for 2017, which in FNS words is rare, and that FNS did not disagree with any of the QC unit's findings. So I just wanted to take this moment and opportunity to say thank you again, more in person than over the email, and thank you for your hard work, the diligence that you all have been putting forward. I know the error rate has been the top of everybody's list for quite some time now, and your work and commitment is really showing based on the numbers we saw for 2017. So thank you, not just from me and the state office, but I say that on behalf of the Wyoming families that you guys are serving and helping. So with that, keep up the great work, and I think we can do even better on that. So good job. And then just a few updates on some projects that are happening that are in your world. The first one is the electronic document management system that we received a grant from FNS to move forward on. So that actually will include, and we just recently added childcare to that. So that's going to be doing some scanning and document imaging for SNAP, TANF, and our childcare cases. We're just in the beginning of that project, working with the vendor on requirements and building of the system. Andy is the gal in charge of that project. So if you have any questions, I mean, obviously feel free to ask Jackie or Kelly, but Andy is the one running that project. So feel free to reach out to her at any point in time on that. We are looking to have that system completed, I believe, and live in November, but then we will have to do the scanning. So that will take some time thereafter. A few other projects. One is we are going to start moving forward. We haven't started it yet, I should say, but we are planning to start and move childcare to an EBT card system similar to SNAP. It will obviously look a little bit different because childcare is operated a little bit differently. But just a really high level heads up that we are moving forward with that. I would ask that you, if you in the childcare world or, providers, don't share this information quite yet, because we're really strategically trying to figure out how we have those conversations, and it will be a large change for a lot of people, but we think it will be a really, really good change. So just know that it's there, it's on the horizon, and we'll be moving forward with that. And then finally, we are moving forward with moving the power payments to an electronic payment card. They currently, as you are aware, go out in a check form. So we have the vendor, we have the contract, it's been on hold, and now we're starting it up again. So we'll be working with the vendor on that and moving all of those payments to an electronic payment card. Essentially, think of it as a debit card, similar to how child support is given to people now, is how power payments will be given to them on a card. So we'll be moving forward with that as well. So some big projects happening. Just wanted to give you all an update on that. Always feel free to reach out. You can reach out to me with any questions, but your managers and others are in the loop on all of these projects, so please feel free to reach out to them, or Andy or Georgia or Eve are also included on these. So feel free to reach out if you have any questions or thoughts. We would be happy to hear from you. And Val, that's all I have, and just want to say thank you, everybody, and have a great day.
Thank you, Christy. So some really great updates, exciting things up ahead for us. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and hand this over to Bree.
Good morning, everybody. I apologize that I'm a little in the dark. I have a lot of backlight going on, so I am here. I promise I'm not in a dark, depressed dungeon. I just wanted to give you a couple of updates that are happening with the DFS Help, in that we do have a new ticket system. So anytime that you submit an email to the DFS Help, it actually assigns a ticket right away. And we are really encouraging everybody to start using the DFS Help email versus emailing myself or Brandon individually. The reason for that is oftentimes these emails that you send could potentially get lost in the flux of all the emails that we receive in a day. And since Brandon, Christina, and I all have access now to our new DFS ticket system, anytime an email comes into the system, all three of us, whoever is available at that time, will be able to take those tickets. So you're not waiting on one person individually. And the three of us actually can do the majority of the help desk tickets that do come in. There are some things that are specific to each one of us, but if those come in, then obviously those of us who are specific to that will take care of it. But you will definitely be served much quicker if you email dfshelp@wyo.gov versus us individually. So I wanted to throw that out. So we are stepping away from individual emails and or chats. So try not to use those two methods of communication. I do want to share real fast. Can I share my screen, Val? Is that okay? Let me, hold on. I've got to figure out which screen to share. I'm actually going to share my screen here real quickly and show you. This is an updated help desk contact list that I just updated this morning that shows who you contact for what. I know we have a lot of new employees, which welcome to DFS. This may be very beneficial to you as to who to contact when you're having issues with your computer or have any questions. So I'll be sending this to Val to actually send out to everybody. The second thing I want to do is just do a quick reminder to everybody what the differences are between the mainframe password and the Epix password. So this particular screen is actually the mainframe. This is how you get into the mainframe that allows you to access RIS, ESY4, and Epix. So this password, if you get locked here and it says the user has been revoked, when you email DFS help, please put in there that you are locked at the mainframe. If you are actually locked at Epix, you would see, not that screen, this screen. So this is the big Epix screen. So if you get locked here, this is when you email DFS help, please let us know that you're locked at the Epix screen. That helps us a lot, and it also saves multiple time, lots of time for both you and us to make sure that we are resetting the correct password. And without further ado, that is actually all that I have. So now if I can stop sharing and mute. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Bree. All right, so lots of good information. I will get that list out to the field shortly, and so that you have all of that at your fingertips, ready to go should you need it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to Andy.
Good morning, everyone. I wanted to just do a quick little section on the big rule changes that we had. Most of them weren't really changes. It was just kind of updates and clarifications in our policy. The only section of policy that I've had a lot of questions on really is the timely but incomplete, unclear information. So I just kind of wanted to go over really what that section means and share some questions that I've gotten with you guys. So this is just a screenshot of what it changed to. So basically, anytime that we have something reported to us that really isn't clear, remember the definition to us unclear or incomplete means that something's been reported, but it's not verified, or something's been reported with some type of documentation that's really just inconsistent. So the first thing we have to look at is how old that is as far as when the change happened. So fewer than 60 days old relative to the current month just basically means, you know, right now we're in July. So we wouldn't want to go past anything, you know, May. So I would just consider the month. So May and June would be our 60 days. So regardless of whatever the date is, it would be the actual benefit month. I've had a lot of questions on if we do act on a change, are we going to be in trouble? Is QC going to cite that for us? And I have verified with QC that nothing prohibits us from acting on a change. We can act on a change if we feel it's necessary. I would encourage you absolutely to act on changes that are beneficial to the household, you know, such as like increases in rent, loss of income, that kind of thing, so that we're serving our clients. But we're not going to be in trouble for doing that. I've had a lot of questions on ABODs, and I just want to make very clear, and I'm happy to put in policies maybe some examples of ABODs if we need to. Anything regarding an ABOD, I would consider significant information. So I've had a lot of questions on, well, does this apply to reversing ABOD months? So remember, if we go back to the definition of what unclear or inconsistent is, it's that we haven't verified that information. So if we have information where we need to be reversing ABOD months or counting ABOD months, then we've verified it. It's no longer unclear, and we absolutely need to act on that change. Again, I had a question, you know, if we don't act on a change and a client is upset that we didn't act on it because it was over 60 days old, I mean, again, nothing prohibits us from doing it. And if it benefits the household, it would be my preference that you do that. So really right now, I'd just like to open it up. Those are the questions that I've had most consistently on this update in policy. If you guys want to chat, Val, if you have anything right off the top of your head right now. I mean, I'm logging what I'm getting, and hopefully I can get some examples in policy that will maybe make this a little more clear for you guys. So one thing I have on the checklist is to get some ABOD stuff in there. Just a reminder that ABOD, that needs to be acted on. So you guys have any questions on this for me, even if it's not specifically this section or any other section that we updated in policy regarding the big rule, is what FNS calls it. Well, I don't actually think Val's on. I think maybe she got kicked out. So you guys can chat me. Kelly's on. You can chat Kelly if you have any questions. But if, let's see, I got a ding. No, I didn't. That wasn't me. Oh, Jeannie wants to know when this was effective. I have to go back to the day that I sent out the email. So Jeannie, I'll have to find the original email. So I either would have put an effective date on there, or I would have said effective as of the date of this email. Okay, guys, well, if there are no more questions for me, anytime that something pops up, please let me know. My goal is really to make sure that policy is a useful tool for you. So I might not be able to get things in there right away, but I do keep a log of what needs to go in there so that it is useful to you. I would say I'd turn it back over to Val, but I just don't see her on here anymore.
Hey, Andy.
Yes.
This is Jackie. You sent the original email on June the 5th. Your email doesn't say specifically when the effective date is. So is it June the 5th? Is that what we should go with? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, essentially the big rule went into effect quite a while ago, but we had some trouble getting the policy done and ready to actually be implemented into policy.
Perfect.